I love my God wings, guys. Where everything lines up a little bit too perfectly. Nobody can say, "Oh, that's just a regular coincidence." Like I woke up yesterday to the sad news of the passing of Pope Francis. I loved him so much, guys. And I called my friend who introduced me to the Catholic faith and to Pope Francis and a book that he wrote, The Way of Love, that had become like unbelievably, like he became my marriage counselor. Somebody who's never been married was my marriage counselor, guys. And so I was pretty sad about his passing because I loved his teachings and, you know, just his influence on my life. He just had a beautiful influence on my life in so many different ways, guys. And so I woke up yesterday morning just calling her crying that he passed away. So at 5 p.m., my alarm for my appointment with God went off, and my spirit just said, go to page 50, Nick. And it was about Pope Francis, guys, and what he taught me. He said it's about a constant readiness to confront any challenge. It's a love that never gives up. Even in the darkest hour, it shows a certain type of dogged heroism, a power to resist every negative current, an irrepressible commitment to goodness. And I have read that so many times. It don't matter the darkest hour I'm in. Never give up, guys. And that was just, you know, for me to wake up that morning to that news and to say, have an appointment at 5 p.m. exactly to go to that page 50 to read this message from Pope Francis. Which is my little God wing. So I say now I have Pope Francis in heaven as my audience as well. And I thank God for his life and for all his beautiful teachings. And especially I loved about the Catholic Church about the presence of God and just knowing that God's presence is with us. Even in those darkest moments, guys, we have God with us. So I ended up sending these messages to my support group, right? And I say nothing better than friends who push you closer to God. That's my support group, especially this friend who introduced me to Pope Francis. She's my shining example of a person who pushes me closer to God, guys. And I said, we will be that friend to the entire world. I want to be your friend, the friend that pushes you closer to God. Right? So that was my message to them at 5:10 yesterday. Get to McGottry today at 16 minutes past the hour, guys. And can you believe that message that showed up? About how this friend has been my shining example of a person who is most importantly, pointedly closer to God. The best kind of friend to have, by the way. You guys see there? God knows everything about our lives. Nick, I saw you sending that message to the group. I'm confirming that there's nothing better than friends who point you closer to God. And so that's why I'm here like a crazy lady. Pointing you guys closer to God. I don't want you to miss out on this relationship with him. How could that show up for me to send that message to the group yesterday? I said, I want to be that friend. I wanted to be that friend for the world. I wanted to point everybody closer to God. You know, and for that to show up, guys. At 16 minutes past the hour, I touched that country to get here. The best kind of friend to have will point you closer to God. So how's your relationship with God going, guys? I don't want you to miss out, man, on all this love I received from him. You know, like every moment of my life, he's there. Every thought we think, everywhere we go, there's nothing about our lives that God doesn't know about. So the important message I want to tell you guys about is this discernment. Just knowing what it is that God himself would have you to do every moment. Like for me to go to page 50. You know, for me to go to page 50. At 5 o'clock, and see that message from Pope Francis, who I love so much. You know, it was that discernment, his spirit. Nick, go to page 50. Have an appointment with me right now. Okay, guys, and for this morning, You know, for me to text that message to the group, nothing better. May we be that friend to the world. You know, for him to just say, yes, Nick, this is the best kind of friend to have. So this is where I want us all, having this faith in God, having this discernment, just knowing what is it that God would have us to do. Every moment, every example, every experience, every circumstance, every decision, going to God and wrapping ourselves up, intertwining with God, being obedient to God in every moment, giving glory to Him. Even when it gets hard, guys. Okay? I want us wrapped up in God's love, His protection, just knowing by His strength we can handle and do all things with Him by our side. Okay? We don't have to tackle life alone. That's the greatest news ever, that God is in the spiritual realm, connecting us with the people we need, solutions to problems, tweaking situations on our behalf, everything, solutions, wisdom, guidance, His love. You know, who am I for God to send me to page 16 today, just to let me know that His presence is with me? What kind of love is this? Nobody will love you better than this God. The way He loves us. You know, nobody can tell me that's a coincidence that I'm telling my support group, oh, let's be this friend to the world, and go to page 16, just for Him to confirm it. You know? So, never forget who you are and whose you are. We belong to Papa God. We're His kids, we're His peeps. He's our man. He's our go-to every moment, every decision. Just walking through life with God. The righteous shall live by faith. We're depending on Him. We're leaning on Him.